All right, welcome back to another episode of Basement Birds. Logan and Reed. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to jump right in.
Jump right in.
Well, we can first provide a little bit of an update from last week's show. So if you haven't listened to last week's show, go listen to it right now. It's a humdinger of an episode.
Oh, that's a great way to describe it.
We talked about Nicole and I Nicole won a radio contest. We went to that show yesterday, and that was the Impractical Joker show. It was Joe.
Yeah.
Not Joe, actually. It was Sal, Murr, and Q at
You
the
looked
Chicago
at the
Theater.
one guy first that is no longer in the group. How'd you manage to do that?
I know. Well, he's my favorite, and I wish he was there.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, he would
but
just
the
do
show was
anything on
pretty
that
good.
show. That's good. Was it like a stand-up like thing?
It was. I had seen clips of the Impractical Joker stand-up before.
Okay.
It to me felt very scripted.
Okay.
Which I guess it kind of has to be when you're multiple person stand-up act, right?
Yeah, that's
because
fair.
essentially you got to
Yeah.
be hitting all the same beats.
Yeah.
And if you're a single person, like you can kind of, do
whatever.
venture off into the unknown a little bit. But,
Sure.
at first it seemed very scripted. Then it got better for the majority of the middle part of the show. And then towards the end, it felt very scripted again. So
Okay.
it was funny, though. It was better than I was expecting. Would I pay to go see them again? Probably not. But
Okay.
it was a great free show to go to
That's good.
that we got from the radio station. So, again, my promise, or not my promise, but my push is for people to apply to those radio contests
Yeah.
because you never know what you're going to win.
Because you two could
And you
be
might
going to
just be-
see the Impractical Jokers.
And not Joe.
And not Joe. Not Joe. Unfortunately, not Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was good. We went to Qdoba beforehand.
Okay.
Shout out Qdoba.
Yeah.
The chips and queso there, fire, off the chain. All the other
Better
thingies.
better than rival burrito places.
Better than certain unnamed Chipotle branded taco joints that today, actually, in fact, Reed texted me earlier today. He said, well, you go ahead, tell
Yeah,
tell
Chipotle
the
does a
listening
thing
audience what you said.
at the start of the NHL playoffs because they're a longtime partner of USA Hockey. Because anytime you ever watch the juniors program, they always have Chipotle slapped across the front of their helmet, like it's their last name.
Well, they can't forget it. Just like, sometimes I write my name on my forehead so I don't forget.
Yeah, exactly. So
one does.
They do an offer where if you wear a hockey jersey, you get buy one, get one. I'm like, this is great. I can get a burrito for tonight for dinner. I can get a second one for lunch tomorrow.
I was pretty sure it was buy one, get one bowl. I'm pretty sure it was limited to bowls.
Just bowls? What?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, I would have been
Nicole
mad
said
if I would have showed up.
Nicole said it was
Really?
just bowls. Yeah.
Oh, my
I don't know how
gosh.
accurate that is.
Just bowls? Well, we're about to find out how accurate it was. Let's see. Where is the Chipotle Instagram page? Chipotle.
I guess it is an entree, a purchase of an entree.
Purchase of an entree.
Nicole was incorrect.
Well, Nicole was wrong.
Not unreliable source. Nicole is.
That's all we'll
but
say
that's
on
all
that.
right.
Anyway, you could get buy one get one if you wore a hockey jersey. So I was hungry, obviously, as one is, and I wanted dinner, and I'm like, I can get a burrito tonight. I can, pack one for lunch tomorrow. This is great. Wasn't going to eat both of them tonight, because bad things would happen tomorrow or a couple days down the line if I ate 2 burritos in one night.
I mean, I'm not one to judge, and
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
I will
and
spare
let's
you the
just say-
details on that one. Yeah. So
Yes.
I had to run some grocery errands and stuff like that, so I pull up to Chipotle, and I can tell I didn't even need to get out of the car, and I could tell that the line was like 15 people deep. Okay? And I know from experience that the Chipotle near me is not a fast operating restaurant at all. They are slow. I was talking to my boss about this today at work. I'm like, I may go to Chipotle for this deal. He's like, yeah, but then you have to go to the Chipotle. I'm like, you're not wrong. Is it worth the savings of needing to deal with the experience of going to that particular Chipotle location? And I did not want to wait in there any longer than 10 minutes than it normally does, which is already too long for a place like that for me. So I turned around and went home.
Well, does your Chipotle have a Chipotlane?
What is the Chipotlane?
You don't know what a Chipotlane is?
No.
I think
is that like a Disney Fast Pass, but for Chipotle?
Kind of.
We
It's
need
a
one.
drive-through. It's a drive-through for Chipotle.
Yeah,
that
no, we don't have a drive-through.
doesn't take. No. It doesn't. You have to do an app order, so you have to order on the app, and you could just drive up.
Well, see, I would have done an app order, but that doesn't work with the Jersey thing.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And also
but
every time I do,
you still have to get out of your car though.
Yeah,
too.
every time I do an app order for them too, though, they're like consistently 10 minutes late on the time that is supposed to come.
Really?
Yeah, they're bad.
Your Chipotle just sounds like it's
bad.
poop.
It sucks.
Yeah, like
it
it sounds terrible.
The one time I went, and they were out of white rice, black beans, lettuce, 2 types of salsa, and I'm pretty sure sour cream.
That's the whole bowl.
Yeah.
They're just out of bowls.
You know what? I was
Might as
dumb
well
enough
just
to
shut
stay
lock
in line.
the doors at that point. What?
I don't know why.
What did you get? Just the cardboard? Or you just
I got the other rice, the other beans, and limited toppings. Okay. Also, are you are you a bowl or a burrito guy?
I'm a taco guy, dude. Get on my level.
But when you go to
my level,
when you go to Chipotle, bowl or burrito?
Yeah. Tacos.
No one orders the tacos. Isn't that an app exclusive? You can't even get that when you walk in.
No, the quesadilla. No.
Oh,
the quesadilla is an app
that's
exclusive.
right. Okay, the
which
tacos.
also is tasty. The
quesadillas are great. Yep.
Yeah, for all $27 that they cost, they are great.
Yeah, the prices have gone up too, though. Yeah, I don't know. Chipotle, like, I used to love Chipotle back in college, and it just has changed, and I don't like it.
No, I agree.
Not a big fan of the change to Chipotle.
Getting more expensive, and they're starting to. They're like a bar.
More expensive.
You go to Chili's and they don't have the price of alcohol on the menu. It's like that. It's like the menu is like is in hieroglyphics.
Chipotle
I don't know,
just tells you what they have, and they don't tell you how much
like,
anything costs.
Yeah. Triangle, circle, star.
Yeah.
And then it was like rings up $35. I'm like, I got 3 tacos, chips, and a drink.
Yeah.
And that's $35.
It's like,
you
want
me?
the specialty carne asada? You don't know if that's going to be $1 more or 10, and it's probably landing
really
somewhere in
don't.
between.
Again, hieroglyphics on the menu.
Yeah, that's
Chipotle,
fair.
if you're listening, we'll take sponsorships. We're open to sponsorships from Chipotle.
Chipotle has changed, though, Logan. But you know what hasn't changed? Or what also has changed?
What?
I muffed that segue. The Arizona Coyotes. We talked about them last episode.
Oh, yeah.
And we said that we could possibly have an update. They have officially gone inactive, if we want to say it. And the players are heading to Utah, just like we thought.
Yep, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done, son. No more hockey in the desert.
I found it very interesting.
The Arizona desert, anyway.
All the stuff the NHL put out about that. They essentially what the league is doing is they are sending the Coyotes inactive for the next 5 years when they can hopefully find an arena and come back via an expansion draft. And they are treating Utah like an expansion team.
It's very strange. Like, it's a very strange way to do this.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
It's nice that Gary thinks that the Coyotes will be coming back, but obviously they've had issues. They haven't had their what is this, 2 seasons now in Mullet Arena, or just the one?
I believe 2. I believe this is their second.
I believe 2 in Mullet Arena, so they obviously have had some issues for a while.
Yeah,
and,
that's for sure.
This is not too long after just rebranding to the Arizona Coyotes, because I remember them as the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yeah, that switch came, I think, around like 2014, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So that was about 10 years ago. But either way, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, because I had seen that there's a possibility of some temporary branding put in place for this upcoming season.
Yeah.
And to me, that just sounds like it's time for an EASHL create a jersey team.
Yeah,
we could have a fan design jersey.
Yeah,
like pick like cool jerseys instead of like whatever this garbage that the NHL has been designing lately.
So the fans unfortunately won't be able to design the jersey, but they will have a chance to pick the name, because I saw the new owner, whose name I can't remember. I think his name ends with Smith. It's a very generic name.
John Dinkelberg.
I think it may be Ryan Smith. I don't know. That sounds right. Let me double check before I bash this guy's boring name. Utah Jazz owner. Who are you?
Do you know who that's from?
No.
That's from the Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh,
Come
of
on
course. This guy's name is Ryan Smith. Okay, pretty generic name. Without looking at a picture of him, you probably have an image of what this guy looks like in your head. Okay, just based off from the name Ryan Smith. He was on the Pat McAfee show today, and he said that the fans will get to vote on the name using a fan vote bracket. So they're going to slowly narrow the team names down. And I've been following this a little bit on social media, and people are finding all the new trademarks that they file for all their names. And there's some okay ones. There's some bad ones. There's nothing really that has stood out as a good name yet, though, which is slightly concerning. And I feel like they could pull a thing like Washington did in the NFL for a little bit before they came out with the Commanders and play their first season as essentially the Utah Hockey Club, because that got trademarked, and then decide on a more permanent name.
Yeah. I mean, if they do that temporary branding business, I bet that's what they do.
I honestly...
Which I don't hate that.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing that I've ever seen.
The Redskins turned football team turned Commanders got a lot of flack when they came out with the Washington football team. And I think it would have worked better for them had they not had it for so long. But if Utah only rolls it out for one season while they try to figure out what they want their name to be and really dial something in, because some people were saying like, oh, they should have had a name when they announced this new team because every team does it. But it's like, not really. When the Thrashers moved to Winnipeg, we waited a couple months to find out that they were becoming the second iteration of the Jets.
Right.
So it doesn't, not everything happens, right away because... I mean, it probably wasn't until a couple weeks ago that that Smith knew that he was getting the team for sure anyway. It seemed like all of this happened very quickly. Obviously, there were rumors and stuff, and he put out that press release back in January saying they want hockey, but, things move, slower and quicker in some regards, depending on what it is, and relocation like this can move fast, so it's no surprise that they don't have stuff ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, obviously, an Arizona fan, so to me, it's not the worst thing. It's fun to see some different things happening. I mean, obviously we saw the two expansion teams in the past 10 years, and that was the first time we saw that big of a change in the NHL in quite some time. So it's kind of fun to see what they'll come up with, and this is now basically the third team that the public in the National Hockey League has just had to pull out of thin air essentially and create this story from the beginning, right?
This is 3 teams in 7 years now.
Right.
Vegas
and so
entered in
that
17,
to me is an interesting story in itself. In that this is a lot of creativity for the fans and a lot of creativity for the league, and everybody's just kind of trying to accept it. Yeah. And so I would imagine once this is all sorted out, I wouldn't be surprised if we it was another 10 years before anything happened again, because this is honestly a lot of...
It's been a lot of change for the league in the last couple of years, that's for sure.
Right, right. So, I guess we'll have to keep an eye out for that.
I think, though, the biggest casualty of the situation, besides the Coyotes fans losing their team, is the loss of the jerseys the Coyotes wore.
Yes.
Because I think those things... Probably in my book, top 3 in the NHL, and I don't know if I can put them at 2 or 3. They may be my favorite jerseys in hockey.
Yeah, no, they're definitely a fan favorite, I would think, and they have.
If you need any further proof that there's a lot of teams out there that should return to a retro look, look at the Arizona Coyotes. That's leaps and bounds better than what they had before.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Maybe they'll bring back an iteration of that in Salt Lake City.
They may need to wait the 5 years for the owner to lose the IP to that, if that's what'll happen. But
who knows?
I would love to see
it'll
that
be
come
a wait
back
and
in
see.
some regard. Yeah, only time will tell.
Yeah. That's a crazy situation. But another crazy situation happened to me over the weekend.
Okay.
Which has to do with the apparatus that heats water, also known as a hot water heater.
That was the most complicated way you could have said that.
I don't think so, but
that's true. It could have been more complicated. Yeah, you are not wrong.
We had a little bit of a problem with the hot water heater.
Did it break?
And, it went. It went on the.
It went kaput.
hiccup. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah.
We had water all over the floor. It was leaking all over the place.
That's not ideal at all.
No, it's not. And
It's a good
so
time to have an unfinished basement, though.
this is true.
You know?
This is true. And and luckily for us, the drain was right next to the hot water heater, so a lot of the water just got pushed into the drain.
As it
bada
normally
bing,
is.
Bada boom,
Yeah.
you know.
I feel like that's a pretty standard thing, but
Well, I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. You
at
can't,
least I feel it
you
should
never know.
be. You know, that's a pretty easy spot to put a drain, but
One with a brain would think that,
Yeah,
yes.
one
and,
with a
you know,
brain would have
sometimes
a drain.
people, when designing houses, one with a brain with a drain. I like that. But no, so we ended up having to get a new one, and so we went and I did some investigative work. Got on my magnifying glass.
yeah.
And did some investigation to see who had the best reviews and the best
Oh yeah.
price.
Yeah.
And do you want to take a guess on which retailer, home improvement store?
Yeah, did you go, are we talking like big box, or did you go like a local place? Like I know like when my
Well,
parents.
if I tell you that, it'll give it away.
It was a big box place, and like I know where my parents go. Like my parents, like they go to the same business because it was the business that my mom's brothers worked at and owned at one point. So they just go there, and they still get like a family discount, pretty much. Which
That's
is
nice.
Which
That's
is great.
convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking like it's like a Home Depot, Lowe's. You guys have like True Value out there?
What? True Value? No.
What about like
that's not a real place?
Like Ace Hardware?
It was from Home Depot.
It was Home Depot.
From the
Okay.
Depot.
Okay.
And you know, it was fine. We got it here. It's not that heavy. A lot of everyone. It's so heavy. No, it wasn't that heavy.
I mean, it's probably heavy when there's water in it, but when it's empty.
Well, I'm also I introduced you to my friends Jack and Hammer.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
we got
oh,
you
boy.
know we got I got all three of us taking this downstairs.
Did you install this yourself?
My dad and I installed it.
Okay.
He came over and helped, did most of the work, if we're being honest.
Okay. Everyone needs a supervisor, though. You know.
Everyone needs a supervisor. I very much supervised. I cleaned up the water on the ground.
Nice. That's an important job, though.
So, yeah, and I gave him the tools that he needed and stuff. And no, I did a little bit more than that. But,
I gave him tools.
Essentially,
okay.
we got it installed, no problem. Did a couple reorganization of some pipes to make it a little easier.
Okay.
For next time, we installed a couple shut-off valves in case there's never an issue again. You go, bada boom, and shut them off, and there's no more water on the ground.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And so, a water heater actually is pretty a simple device.
Sure.
Right? You got water in, hot water comes out, cold water in, hot water out, and then there's a gas line. Right.
Okay.
A line. It's powered by natural gas
To provide the heating.
Right, and so you know, there's basically three connections: water in, water out, and gas.
Gas,
right?
okay, yeah.
So water in, water out. That was the first two things we did. No problem, right?
Sure.
Like I said, we reorganized some of the pipes.
Yeah.
And
good to go.
No issues like that. The part that I did a little bit of the taping around one of the joints, and nothing leaked except for both of the things that I did. So let's just put that as. We're just going to throw that out there. But anyway.
Oh, that's incredible.
We got that fixed. But then we get to the gas line, right? And it just so happens that the water heater that I got, all of the connections were essentially in the exact same place as the previous water heater. So there wasn't a whole lot of, like,
need to move stuff around.
pipe work that needed to be done.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I said, we reorganized the pipes a little bit, but for the gas, we didn't have to change anything.
Oh,
right?
that's really convenient. Yeah.
And so, when you do pipes for both water and gas, you put like either a paste or some tape in the seams, right?
Oh, on the thread
to make sure it doesn't leak. Yeah, on the threads.
Yeah,
right?
the seams.
Seams, threads,
I guess.
of the pipes, right? Whatever. Yeah. So we did that with the tape on the water. That's fine. And then we had the tape for the gas. Put it on there. Get it all connected up. Bada bang, we're ready to go. Fire that bad boy up.
And the next thing
No
you know, you got a
problem.
gas leak.
No. Well. See, that's the next step is to check. No, get
It's
a
to have
load
a
of this.
gas leak.
This is where my father pulls another one of his little schemes.
Oh,
right?
boy.
His little schemes.
Those always scare me, and I'm not even there for any of them.
Well, you can imagine my concern when he says, "Okay, son, we need to test for gas leaks."
Oh, gosh. And you're
Great.
like, Dad, how do we do that?
Dad, how do we do that? You see, now you're thinking. Now you're thinking along the lines of me.
Yeah.
He says, "Do you have a lighter?" And I said, jokingly, "No, I don't have a lighter." "What do you mean, do I have a lighter?"
No.
No. No, I don't have a lighter. I don't have a
Oh,
lighter.
gosh.
So I'm like, I have some matches. I went out and found it. We have one of those Tesla lighters, you know, it has like a little lightning across where it
yeah.
where it you can light candles and stuff. Nicole likes to light candles, but so
Sure.
I go get that. He's like, "We don't need that." He pulls out a blowtorch. He's got the big kahuna here. He's got the blowtorch out, right?
Oh, no.
Fires that bad boy up,
Oh, no.
right? He's now I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe he's just, I don't know what he's going to do here. He's
I
going
didn't
to
like this
heat,
house
heat up
anyway.
the pipe or something, right? I don't know what's going on.
Oh, no.
He's like, no, natural gas is flammable,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So you generally wouldn't
So what
want
does
to light
he
a
do?
blowtorch near it.
He starts blowtorching the pipe in which gas is going through.
No, you can't make that up.
Blowtorch with fire, Reed. Fire.
Oh, my
What are you
word.
doing? What are you doing? He's like, "Oh, no, we're fine." I'm like,
Dad, you may be fine, but I'm
yeah.
not.
And, this is after my boss, after I told her that it broke, she said, "Oh, just last week, someone in my neighborhood installed a water heater, and it exploded."
Oh, gosh.
So
Oof,
you can
woof.
imagine my concern
Yeah, no kidding.
when he starts blowtorching the pipe to see
Yeah,
if there's a
right.
leak. And I'm like, "What?" And thankfully, there was not a leak. But
Well, yeah,
I was like,
I don't know if you'd be here if if there was a leak.
well, my question to him was, what would have happened if there was a leak? I mean, that seems like a fair question at this point.
Something would have went kaboom, I imagine.
Oh, he's like, "Oh, it's pressurized, so it would have gone just, and it would have just had a little fireball." I was like, "Yeah, a little fireball with me standing near is a loss of eyebrows and all hair on this side of my head." See what I'm saying?
Oh, my word.
And so, needless to say,
That's insane.
I'm very thankful that he helped me do that and
Yeah.
that he was here. But if you do any sort of home improvement projects, just be careful.
Don't use a blowtorch to check for natural gas leaks.
Don't use a
Yeah.
blowtorch on live gas lines.
That's the lesson of the day, I guess.
Lesson of the day, Mythbusters did
Jeez.
one where they shot a water heater through the roof of a house. They are a very dangerous machine. They're
Yeah.
pressurized.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Don't try and light the rocket prematurely. That's all I'll have to say about that.
Jeez.
So that was my weekend. But that was Saturday. We did that. Sunday we went to the show. And Monday here we are today, live and in person to talk about it. So obviously we're fine. But
Yep.
fun times. But yeah, I think we're just running close to time here, so we better get to odd news before
Absolutely.
the end of the show here. Would you like? I think you go first every week, so I'm going to go first this week. How do you feel about that?
I thought you were going to say I should go
Okay.
first again then, too. That's okay. Go ahead.
Right. Anyway, so I was at this show yesterday, as we talked about, and at the end of the show, in the Chicago Theater, they had these confetti cannons. They blast confetti all over the audience. And I've never seen confetti cannons in like a theater. I've seen them in like arenas, but never in like a. We were in the Chicago Theater, very
Chicago
famous
Theater.
historic venue.
Yeah, I
in
got to look
Chicago.
this up now.
And there was a lot of confetti.
Oh, whoa.
And so you can
This place
imagine
looks legit.
it is legit.
That's a really cool venue. Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. But They had confetti all over the place. So you can imagine my excitement when I saw a news story. 2013 confetti cannons were fired simultaneously
Jeez.
to break a world record. This was 3 days ago.
Wow.
A school in Australia set off 2013 confetti cannons at the same time to celebrate its 40th anniversary and break a Guinness World Record.
Wow.
St. Stephen's School in Western Australia set confetti flying into the air Friday to break this record for the most people launching confetti cannons simultaneously.
Oh,
Wow.
my gosh. Wow.
They annihilated the previous record of 1,116.
Oh, not even close.
Yeah, that's insane. That's a lot of
pretty cool.
confetti. I'm just glad I've never had the pleasure of cleaning up confetti.
Oh, gosh.
I imagine that would be like quite possibly the worst job
I wonder,
that I can think
do
of
they make
offhand.
confetti that's biodegradable?
I'm sure.
I wonder if they
I'm
use
sure.
that. That would be pretty cool.
I'd like to know how they make confetti. You know what? On
imagine
a
they just
side
cut
note,
up
you know
paper
it's
a
like
lot.
you know what's a big secret is how to make glitter. Like nobody really knows.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you ever hear that? That it's like a mystery where this glitter
Yeah.
comes from.
It's like the
And,
recipe
like
for
the people
Coke.
who make it.
You know, there's 2 people on the planet that know it, and neither of the glitter people are on the same plane at a time.
I think that's Superman, my guy. But yeah,
Well, close
we're
enough.
Close.
What's the difference? So I
Glitter,
also
Superman. I mean, they're basically the same thing. Tall man in tights.
I also
Anyway,
have a world record that was broken. We've had a lot of world record chat on the pod recently, which is fine. I think they're very interesting.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I am too.
I think we
talked
should-
about them.
one-
We
one
talked about them last
episode we
year,
should
or
live-
last episode.
One episode we should live try and break a world record.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. So
I don't
mine
know what
is
that would be. But we'll figure it
yeah.
out.
I guess we got to figure it out. I don't think we should do this one, however. Though this is a guy, a Nigerian chess player, has broken the record for a chess marathon with 60 consecutive hours.
Whoa.
Yeah, he played chess for 60 hours. I'm not even going to attempt to say this guy's name, but he played against Sean Martinez, who is a U.S. chess champion, and they played in Times Square in New York. And this guy won every game.
60 continuous hours?
Yes. So the current record stood at 56 hours and 9 minutes, and Guinness will need to review the evidence, they say, to determine if this record will attempt to take the title. Because I doubt that they had someone sitting there the whole time to verify that. I don't know how this works for these long marathon records, you know?
I mean, but that's like longer than 2 straight days.
Yes.
So does he not sleep during that time? Or
I don't think so. This was all to raise some money for Chess in Slums Africa, this guy's charity that he co-founded. They wanted to raise $1 million for it, and it promotes education in low-income areas across Africa, which is a cool cause. And he said that he ate for the first time in 4 days after this marathon ended, because this is the best
Whoa.
part. He said, I couldn't eat anything at all because I had some food poisoning during the marathon, so I just had water.
oh gosh.
That sounds like a...
food poisoning.
Yeah, like there must have been a lot of like things already in place, like logistic-wise, to not postpone this marathon
Yeah.
because of food
What the
poisoning.
heck?
Because the last thing that I would want to do with food poisoning is sit and play chess for 60 hours. I mean, I don't play chess without food poisoning, but doing it for 60 hours straight with food poisoning sounds terrible.
Wait, are you not a chess guy? I thought you.
No,
I
I've never.
thought you are a chess guy.
I'm not a chess guy. I am not.
Oh.
Yeah, never been a big chess guy.
I was.
Yeah.
I was there for a while. Got into it during COVID.
I've never been able to understand which piece moves where. I know that the horse moves in an L shape, and that's about it.
The knight.
Yeah, to me, it's a horse.
The
you know?
knight. It's
Yeah.
not a horse. It's a knight.
Well, it's a horse. If it was a knight, it would look like a knight, but that looks like a horse.
I mean, I guess it's more like night and day kind of thing, where it's dark and light. But yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was more of a knight because a knight rides a horse. See, it's a horse.
Well, I'm just talking about the pieces colors. 'cause the
yeah.
pieces
Yin
are
and
black
yang,
and
night
white
day,
anyway.
Yeah, you know.
Yin and yang, something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was into chess for a while, but I can't. I mean, I get tired after playing for like one game, and
Yeah.
I can't imagine playing for 60 hours straight.
That's wild to me. I cannot.
That
I
is-
can't wrap my head around that one.
No. insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we're coming up on time here. So we next week,
Yeah.
preview to next week, we will have a brand new segment.
We will, yes.
That we did not get to today. So it's called the Silly Title Takedown, and I'll leave you to your own vices to figure out what that is going to be. So be sure to tune in next week for that. You can keep up with the Basement Birds podcast on all sorts of different social media platforms that Reed will tell you about right now.
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Basement Birds.
He goes, yep.
Boom.
Yeah.
I almost said Facebook there. I don't know why. We are not on Facebook.
Facebook?
We are not on
What are
Facebook.
you, like 40 years old?
We're very
and
much not on Facebook, I can confirm, but...
Yeah. Facebook has gotten bad.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter.
Facebook is entertainment value.
Is it, though? It's entertainment, but it's also not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
We'll
leave you to decide.
That's fair.
Till next time. We'll
right.
catch you on the next one.
See ya.